Okay, so coming down to seated, just into crossed legs. Dropping in, have a bit of a wriggle, hands resting on your knees or the wrists on your knees, or even hands in your lap, if it's most comfortable. Close your eyes down to immediately internalize your focus. Just think about where the shoulders are today. If they're kind of curving forward, let them broaden. Gently lift the chest. Let shoulder blades slide down your back towards each other. But then slightly soften your pose. So notice whether you're really kind of puffing your chest out, and just let that relax down. Softening around the ribs. Just a little softness in the belly, making space to breathe. We'll just start right here with a few long breaths. Just a chance to connect inwards. Connecting with your breath in your body. Staying just as you are. Simply focusing on your breath, noticing where you feel it the most today, so whether it's centered around your face, nostrils, or whether you're feeling it deeper in the torso, right down to the belly, maybe across the back body. Maybe that feeling of expansion around the rib cage, gently broadening and softening. And then cupping hands onto your knees, just tilt the chin down and gently pull your navel in towards your spine, pulling your back round out. And then we'll reverse the movement by lifting the chest, drawing shoulders back and down. Lift the chin, lengthen up through the front of the neck. And again, curling and rounding out. Tipping the pelvis back. And rise again. Might feel good to breathe in as you lift. And then to breathe out as you curl and round. Make the movement as big or small as you like. And we'll just do a couple more rounds. And we'll once again settle into a neutral position. Just let the chest and shoulders relax, soften any grip in the fingers. Just take a couple of breaths here to reset. And then float your eyes open or open arms out wide. And then bring them in and wrap your upper arms. So notice which arm is on top, because we'll switch soon. And then curve down through the spine. So really hugging in, broadening across the back body. And then we'll lift the chest and open arms wide again. You might even like to raise your eye gaze. And then the other arm comes on top, wrapping right around to your shoulder blades if you could get that far, and curling in. Even tip the chin down, lengthen the back of the neck. With your next breath in, we'll open wide again. And with the out breath coming in, wrap and curl down. So really try and dome across your upper back body. One more time, breath in. Make it really energetic, and then with the out breath, curling in and wrap. Okay, let's stretch arms open one more time, and then float fingertips behind you onto the ground. Plant down to your palms. Keep broadening across the chest. So lifting the center of your chest. Big easy breath. And then floating fingertips ahead of you. So tipping forward from the pelvis and just softening down. So maybe it's fingertips or wrists or down to forearms, just wherever you can get to without dropping the head completely. So keep lengthening across the back of the neck. And then just coming up onto fingertips, or walk hands around to one side and then sweep the top arm overhead. Maybe even look up if it feels good. And then reversing, sweeping around. Hands come to the other side and then lift the top arm. Rotate the top shoulder open, look up under the arm if you can. Coming down and sweep around. Lifting up. I feel good to breathe in there and to breathe out as you sweep. Let's do one more on each side. So just at your own pace, moving with your breath. And then the last one. Okay, and then release out. Let's shake the legs out, just extend to the front of you. Give a good old shake out for the ankles. And come over onto your hands and knees. So spreading the fingers out wide. We've got a strong foundation here, really plant down through the palms. Pressing into the heels of the hands and around the base of the fingers. Okay, and then tucking your toes under, we're lifting hips up, coming up to a downward facing dog. So lengthening all the way up to the tailbone, and tipping the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Pressing your chest through until your ears are around about the line with your biceps. Think about lengthening your neck and drawing shoulders away from ears. So your knees can be as bent as you need them to be, or you might start to lengthen your heels a bit closer to the ground, still tipping your hips high. Okay, and then floating forward into a high plank, so shoulders come right over your wrists until you feel shoulder blades hug into your back body. And then lift hips up and back. Float forward again to your plank. Maybe a little squeeze in the glutes as well to stabilize. Lifting up and back. And then one more time, feel that little catch in the lower abs and lower the hips so that they're in line, one long line for your body. And then coming up and back. And lunge your right foot through, bring it all the way up by your hands. Maybe even an extra step forward to get it all the way up. Drop the back knee down, release the foot. And sweep your arms up. So press gently down into that back foot to help maintain your balance. Take a breath in, and then with your out breath, float fingertips down, pull your hips back for a hamstring stretch. So you can keep the front foot flat, or you can flex it for a little bit more intensity. Keeping the pelvis level, gentle lift in the belly to stabilize. Focus on lengthening your chest forward. Then flatten the front foot. Sweeping arms high again. And then hands come to the floor, tuck the back toes under, knee lifts off and step back into your down dog. So this time, left foot, step it all the way up by your hands. Bring it all the way through. Drop the back knee, flatten the foot. Drive down into your front foot, so sweep arms up. So really lift and stretch here. And then bring fingertips down, pull back to a hamstring stretch. So trying to lengthen through your torso so that we're not curving and bunching the belly, to be lengthening torso out over the front leg. Coming into our lunge again, sweep arms up. And bring hands down, tuck the back toes under, knee lifts off, and step back to your downward facing dog. So let's reset our pose. Feel the shoulder blades tuck into your back body. Lengthen shoulders away from ears. So hips high, heels start to lengthen towards the ground without curving the spine, so it's really important to focus on. Take another breath here. Okay, and then step the right foot through. This time we'll spin back heel to the ground, climb on up, and wind your way up into a warrior. Nice. So we've got the front leg bent, back leg long and strong. Pull your weight back a little so the shoulders are aligned over your hips. Sit, belly gently drawing in, tailbone lengthens down, and drop down, grounding your pose. Front arm sweeps up and over. So really lengthen up through the side of the body, so we're not collapsing one side, we want to be lifting out across. And then floating forward, bring forearm lightly on your thigh, other arm comes overhead. Rise again, drive down to the front heel. Keep the front leg bent. And then we'll arms up and over. Either side of the foot. Lift the back heel and step back into your down dog. I'll spin around while we do the other side. So left leg this time, steps all the way up. Spin the back heel down. Wind your way up and take a moment to feel where center is for you. So front leg bent and back leg straight. That's it. So dropping on in, just pull back a little bit so that we're aligning shoulders over hips. Navel drawing in towards the spine, tailbone lengthening down. And then with your next in-breath, the front arm sweeps up and over. Lengthen up through the side body. And then coming forward, so try and stabilize your pose, but we're not moving the hips and we're not letting them come back. Rise on up again. Take a smooth breath in. And then coming forward, windmill up, arms up and over, lift the back heel, and step back. Then go down facing dog. So you can hold your pose or you can pedal on the spot, whatever you prefer to do. Okay, now from your down dog, planting the hands firmly, we're sweeping the right leg high for a three-legged dog. So keep your weight even in both hands, point toes up towards the ceiling. Okay, and then step your foot through all the way up. So if it lands halfway there, just give the hand to come all the way up. Spin the back heel down. Wind your way up to your warrior two. Oh, this time we're extending up through both legs and reach the front arm high. So send fingertips up towards the ceiling. Keep your legs long and strong. So keep them straight as you come on over. Hand reaches anywhere to the shin or in front of it. Leaning in. Good. Okay, let's rise on up again. Now the bottom hand comes to the top. Bring thumbs down your center line. Shift your weight into the front leg so you can bend the knee a little. Take a little step in if you need it. Then the back leg lifts up. So try and keep your body facing square on. So we're dipping the shoulder low. Keep either thumbs at your heart space or reach one arm high and one arm low. Now bend the standing knee, we're taking a long step back. Extend up through both arms, legs, and reach overhead. Now windmill up and over, lift the back heel and step back to your down dog. So you can peel on the spot or you can hold still, whatever you like. So pressing into both hands evenly, press into every single finger, press into the base of the fingers, and just float the left leg up without changing anything in the arms. And then the top leg sweeps through, so remember a couple of steps if you need to get all the way up. Bring the back heel down, so make sure you're heavy in both heels. Wind your way up, just for a moment in our warrior. And extend up through both legs. Left arm reaches overhead. Keep the legs straight as you come on over. So pulling up through this front quad muscle. So pulling up through the kneecap, And wherever it reaches to, rise again. And this time, as we tip forward, we'll shift the weight into the front leg, take a little knee bend, a couple of steps if you need it to find your balance, and then lift off. Switch to the arms. You can have hands to centre or one high, one low. Get your own. Hold for another breath if you can. Then bend the standing knee, take a long step back. Let's rise again. And then bend the front knee, coming up and over, the back heel. Okay, now walking feet up to your hands. Come into forward fold, feet around hip distance apart, and relax your whole body over your thighs. Let the crown of the head drop towards the ground. Maybe hold on to your elbows or upper arms or forearms. Gently sway from side to side. Nice easy breaths. Feel the weight in both feet, spreading toes, dropping into the balls of the feet, back into heels. Okay, and then let arms hang loose, curl up through your spine. So let's take our time getting to the top, rolling on up, rolling up. And once you're upright, let the shoulders fall back and down, continue to rise, reaching arms overhead. Hands touch and come down your center line. Just pause here for a moment. You can close your eyes if you like. Another chance to internalize our focus. Just a little softness in the knees so that we're not locking the knee joint. Gently pulling the navel in towards the spine. So we've got that gentle tip down the tailbone, lifting up through the belly, broadening across your chest. And think about lifting through the crown of your head. So just like in our down dog, we're thinking about lengthening the space from the ears to the shoulders. And then eyes float open, separate your feet a little more. Sweep arms down and overhead, and then we'll just drop one arm down, curve through the side body. Make sure you're not tipping your tailbone out or shrinking into the pose. Arms come up and over to the other side. You can bring your hand onto your hip if you need a bit more support. Arms come high. Bend knees and dive into your forward fold. So holding on to arms if you like, or just let your arms hang. Really planting your feet and tip your hips up nice and high, start to lengthen the backs of the legs a bit more. And then release arms or curl our way up. So let your shoulders, your arms feel really heavy. Curling all the way to the top. Feel like everything's stacked upon itself. Broadening shoulders, then we'll continue to sweep arms high. Take as long as you want to here. Come down to center. Let's do those side stretches again. So when you're ready for it, arms circle down and overhead. Maybe eyes closed if you like. Drop one arm down. Keep lengthening up through both sides of the body. Might even get a little squeeze in the glutes here to help stabilize your pose. Both arms rise, breath in. Drop the other arm, the out breath. To the top. And dive down into your forward fold. Soften knees as you go. Tip your tailbone up, crown of the head towards the ground. And just hang out for a moment. And then we'll do that one more time. Maybe you want to take it a bit slower as we rise. Shoulders broaden, arms sweep high. Hands touch and come down through center. And let's continue to move, so arms circle down and reach up high. Put one arm down. With your next in-breath, reaching up. With the out-breath, drop over to the other side. Coming up. Now this time, bring your arms behind your back, interlace fingers, but try not to let the shoulders fall forwards. We're going to broaden across the chest, keep pulling in through the belly, and then soften knees, tip from hips, and lay belly over thighs. Arms come away from your body as far as you can, so you might be pushing your knuckles up towards the ceiling. Or you might be thinking about moving your hands towards the back of the head. If there's any pain in your shoulders, then just hold on to your forearms or let the arms go altogether. So we'll just stay here for a few breaths. Okay, and then release arms slowly, let them hang. The crown of the head drop, back to shoulders. Okay, and then we'll step one foot back and then the other one, plunging both hands to the floor, coming to your down dog again. Okay, floating your way forward into a high plank position. And we're just going to lower down once. So hug elbows in towards ribs, control your body to the ground. And once you land, straighten feet, shoulders roll back and down. And then sweep your arms out long in front of you, just propping up the fingertips. Keep the legs really strong, so squeezing the glutes. And then reach one arm back, grab hold of your foot. Flex the foot, pushing your heel up towards the ceiling. Try not to let the knee fall out to the side. So we want to be pulling inner thighs in towards each other. Lift the chest, see if you can float the thigh almost off the ground, maybe just off the ground. Take another breath here. Okay, it's just ahead of you on the ground. And then we'll slowly release out and do the other side. So grab hold, and then once you've got hold, draw knees in line with your hips and try and bring inner thighs towards each other. Kick back to lift. So think about keeping your neck nice and long, so we're not dropping the head, we're not pointing the chin forward, just a nice neutral position. Okay, slowly release. Now you can come with me and do one more time on each side, or you can grab both feet at the same time if you can. Wherever you are, keep pulling the thighs towards each other. So if you're on both sides, you're here, pulling knees in together. Kick back to lift. Let's see if we can get the heel even higher. Hold for another breath. And slowly release out, or if you're doing both sides, and just lower halfway down, and then kick your way back up again. So squeeze the butt, lift and lengthen. Think about the position of your head. See how much of your body you can get off the ground. Hold for another breath. And slowly release. We're pushing up and back into a child's pose. So bring your knees a little bit wider, big toes touch. Sit hips back towards heels. Let your forehead come down to the ground. Or you could bring your one hand on top of the other and rest your head onto the back of your hand. And just breathe into the back body. Let shoulders relax, open. Ease into hips, even if they're really high off the ground, that's completely fine. Think about lengthening through the low spine, broadening across the back ribs. Nice easy breaths. Just notice if you're holding tension somewhere in your body, it's time to let it go. Just a couple more breaths here. And then go and flip yourself over onto your back. Scoot one leg under. Roll your body down. Bring the knees gently up towards your chest. Let shoulders fall towards the ground. Just one hand on top of each knee. Okay, and then plunge the left foot to the floor, flex the right foot, hook it over your thigh, and gently push your right knee away. And that might be enough to get a stretch around the outer hip area, outside the leg, or you can reach through the gap and grab hold of the bottom thigh, and then create some resistance between your ankle and your thigh. So you're pushing the foot against the leg, and then pushing the leg back against the thigh. That's to encourage the knee to move further away from you. So if there's any discomfort in the knee, try backing off. Or if you want a deeper stretch, keep working this bent knee further away from you. If there's a lot of tension around your throat or chest or shoulders, try and let that all relax back against the ground. Even relax your jaw. And then plant the bottom foot to the ground. Extend your right leg high. You can hold behind the thigh or up around your calf. Keep a slight bend in the knee if you need it. Doesn't have to be completely straight. Shoulders relax again. Bottom leg could stay bent, or you can slide it out long. Now holding the top leg with the same hand, float it open to the side. Try to keep your pelvis level on the ground, so you might even prop the right elbow onto the ground just to help hold the leg in place without rolling off the hips. If it's too hard to keep your balance, bend up the left knee. Just starting to stretch through the groin area and to the inner thigh. And then we'll slowly move the leg all the way over to the other side. So pass it to the other hand. Keep rolling all the way over until you're on the side of your hip. And then let shoulders move towards the ground again, especially that opposite shoulder. Opens out wide. You may like to look away from your top leg. See wherever your neck feels comfortable here. If it feels too intense, you can always bend up the top knee. Staying here just for a few breaths. Really try to relax down with each out breath. Sense of sinking into the ground. Relaxing anything you're holding. And then we'll reverse our way out of it, nice and slow. Just bring the leg up and then switch legs over. So we've got right foot on the floor, left foot flexed, looking over the thigh, and knee gently pushing away from you. So that may be plenty enough of a good stretch for you. 4, reach through, grab the thigh, gently pull it in towards you. We want to keep the ankle really strong here, helping to support the knee in a twisted position. Head and shoulders relaxed. So as you start to wind down, really notice where your mind goes. Where does your attention go? Notice everything you feel in your body in this pose. Notice where you feel tension, resistance, any kind of struggle. Notice the movement of your breath. Consider where you could soften back a little to actually get more out of the pose. Just keep relaxing down with each out breath. And at the same time, we're generating that resistance between ankle and thigh to help intensify the stretch. Moving into our hamstring stretch, so the bottom foot lands and the top leg extends up. Holding down low or up high. Just try to let go of any strain. There's no need to create more effort than you need in this pose. It doesn't often take a lot to just feel stretch up the back of the leg. You might even slide the bottom leg out long, just test it out, see how it feels. So again, we can create a bit of resistance between the hands and the leg to help deepen the stretch. But also pay attention to your breathing. So notice that if you're breathing really shallow or kind of holding your breath, maybe something needs to change in your pose. So we can use each out breath to deepen the stretch. Let's come on out to the side. So bring the leg open to your side, but support it with your hand, even if it means propping the elbow to the floor. Bottom leg can remain straight or bended up. See what works for you. Just stay for one more breath. Dropping in with the out breath. And then moving slowly, we'll pass the leg up through center and all the way over until you're lying on the right hip. Position your body in a place that you can sustain. You feel comfortable. You might even reposition the hips if needed. Put the other arm wide, let the shoulder drop towards the ground. Just let the head wobble back and forth until you find a good position. And again, notice where your attention goes. If you find yourself thinking about something else, just guide awareness back into your body. Notice what you feel, how it feels to be lying here. Take in all your senses, internal and external. Really pay attention. We'll just finish with one last pose. So bring both legs up through center, just bring them up through center. Boot toes together, knees wide, holding your shins or wrapping Hands around the ankles. Or you might even like to take it up to a happy baby pose. Just see how you feel today. Keep the back of your pelvis anchored to the ground, so actively pushing it down. Heels above knees with a downward movement. Shoulders relaxed. And focus on your breath as it moves right down into your torso. Consider what else you could relax. Maybe your face, your jaw, chest, your belly, inner thighs, maybe your fingers, whatever you're holding on to that's not serving you. Just one more breath here. And slowly coming out, plant your feet to the floor with your knees resting together or knees pointing straight up. Arms relaxed at your sides, have a wee shuffle until you're comfortable here. And just dropping in, head feeling really heavy. Scanning down throughout your body, relaxing as you go. Try to focus your attention on your breathing. Notice where it's most apparent for you, if that's around your nostrils, your face, maybe the rise and fall of your chest or the expansion of your rib cage. Maybe you can feel it all the way down around your belly. The soft belly rising and falling. Just stay for around 3 more breaths. But with each out breath, let your body drop in so it's really heavy. You're giving all of your weight to the ground. And then eventually, when you're ready to start moving again, take it slow, keep it small to start with. Maybe just wriggle your fingers and circle your wrists. Or spread the toes and then stretch legs out long. Reach arms overhead, whether you want to lengthen more up one side than the other. Get the knees up towards you, one hand on each knee. And finally, rolling over and coming up to seated. Just take your time, especially coming upright again. Keep your eyes closed if you want to. Hands cupping your knees or rest your wrists or arms in your lap. Think about stacking the pelvis to the ribs, to the jaw, to the crown of the head, and we want that gentle broadness across the shoulders. As little effort as possible. Pause for a breath. And then we'll finish with one more breath together, sweeping arms wide and high. Connect at the top, and with the out breath, come down your center, thumbs to your heart space. And thank you so much for sharing your time with me.